Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. Thank you all for joining me once again. I wasn't going to talk about this because I didn't know what angle to come at. I didn't know what angle to come in. I was like, well, I hear this type of stuff so much, and I've been hearing this type of stuff so much that I really didn't want to talk about it because number one, I didn't know what angle to come at, but also I was so sick and tired of it, and I didn't want to say anything that would be based on how I felt. I really had to pray about this. I really had to pray and ask God to give me strength about it because I'm so sick and tired of it. I really am, and it's in reference to. I know you guys probably already know about this. Reference to a couple of white people, a white male and a white female, were assaulted at a jazz festival in Cincinnati. I think what was it? I think Saturday night, several nights ago, several days ago, and I saw a picture of the female. She was like literally laying flat, like out, her eyes open, just laying flat, and it there was more than one person involved in this in terms of the assault. I seen like a group of like black, and I hope that wasn't mixed or edited footage because people sometimes do stuff like that to try to, stir up and provoke anger in other people. But it looked like it was a bunch of black young kids with black hoodies on, black clothes on, just striking and causing all kinds of nonsense, And now, I'm going to read to you guys a portion of an article from, you can't see it here, but a portion of an article from Newsbreak, which is more of a left-leaning news site. I normally I don't like reading from left-leaning news sites because they tend to be so biased. But then it can be argued that conservative sites can be biased too. They are, okay. But the main reason why I'm reading from this left-leaning news source is because I couldn't find anything from the conservative side on it. So I said, well, I'll go ahead and see what they have to say. And yeah, they're saying exactly what I thought they would say. Okay, so let's get right into this. But you never know. You never know. But let me get right into this. New footage has emerged from a viral altercation that occurred following the Cincinnati Music Festival, offering a different perspective than initial reports. So evidently, the initial reports were kind of like, these people were attacked by a group of young black people unprovoked. Okay. The unedited video shows a white man slapping a black man first. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't. But I could be wrong. It could be possible. Moments before a brawl broke out in downtown Cincinnati, this incident has reignited conversations about media framing racial tensions and public perception. I find that interesting that they would say this in this article because it's usually from my research and in my experiences, it's usually been the liberals who edit and frame things in a way that makes it look like blacks are the victims, right? And whites are the ones perpetrating it all, or blacks have a right to hurt people and jump on white. That's the way that I've been seeing it, okay? So it's funny that this news source would use this term. This incident has reignited conversation about media framing racial tensions and public perception. Because isn't that what the mainstream liberal media does all the time? MSNBC, CNN, which of course these are cable stations, cable news station sources. But still, isn't that what they do? The way they frame race relations, the way they frame and create the public's perception about race relations, isn't it true that MSNBC, CNN, ABC, CBS, and other left-leaning news sources frame relations between whites and blacks as racially motivated? It's the white person's fault and the white person is just evil and oppressive, and the black person, no matter what they do, they're victims of oppression and they need to rise up against the white aristocracy and they need to overtake them no matter what these people do. I'm trying to be nice now. I really am, because I had to pray about this. They're totally innocent of it. We can't argue, well, white people did it to them back in the 1960s. That man, stop. People, we can't make that argument. The old saying, two wrongs don't make a right, is still true. Let's go on, man. I'm trying to be nice about this. The viral incident took place around 3 a.m. on July 26, 2025, near the intersection of 4th and Elm Street in downtown Cincinnati. It occurred shortly after the Friday night performance at the Cincinnati Music Festival. Artists such as Earth, Wind and Fire and Anthony Hamilton were among the headliners that evening, man. It's just crazy. Man, Earth, Wind and Fire, man, they were awesome, man. And I mean, for this to occur during this time, it's just ridiculous. It's just, anyway, therefore drawing large crowds to the area near Paycor Stadium. In the hours following the festival, a video began circulating on social media. And a video began circulating on social media. Let me read that again. In the hours following the festival, a video began circulating on social media. It showed a white couple being assaulted by a group of individuals. Initial clips suggested that the attack was unprovoked. And by the way, if you hear some boom in the background, that's because we're in the middle of a thunderstorm. But I still had to do this video, okay, even in the midst of this thunderstorm. I had to do this, okay? So bypass all of that anyway. However, fully unedited footage later posted by, this is the name of I guess this is the, this explains everything. However, full unedited footage later posted by @CRacist on X, formerly known as Twitter, @CRacist on X. Think about that name, CRacist. Think about that for a moment. Think about it. CRacist right there. That's they're clicking in, clicking on. I'm there. I'm like, okay, yeah. With a title like that, all I see is liberal far left radicals pushing and stoking the flames of racism and tension. And that's what I see. It'd be wrong, but that's what I see. Based on my reading down through the years and observations and studying on Marxism and communism and socialism and progressivism and all these other crazy isms, this is what I see when I read this title. I'm just saying. Anyway, it revealed the incident began when the white man slapped the black man in the face during a verbal altercation. I'm sorry, but that is hard for me to believe that this white man would initiate slapping a black person the way this country is and the way a lot of black people, particularly in certain neighborhoods, feel about white people. Really? You're gonna initiate assaulting a black person? That doesn't make sense to me. Let's read on. According to eyewitness accounts and timestamps in the video, the man in a white shirt slapped the black man. Now notice what it said, the man in a white shirt. The man in a white shirt, or is it a white man or is it a man in a white shirt? Just saying. The man in the white shirt slapped the black man. After that, calling him a quote scared. That don't even sound right. This physical aggression quickly escalated the situation, leading to a group retaliation. So around maybe according to this article, around 2:45 to 3 a.m., witnesses described a verbal dispute between a white man and a group of black individuals. Reports suggest the white man, appearing intoxicated, made racially charged comments before walking away. He returned approximately 15 minutes later, accompanied by others. Now, accordingly, the white man, approximately 15 later, let me read that again. Reports suggest the white man, appearing intoxicated, made racially charged comments before walking away. He returned approximately 15 minutes later, accompanied by others. Now, according to what this is saying, he came back. He left and he came back, accompanied by others. Who these others? I'm just reading what this article from Newbreak is saying. I'm going to have to find some cross references on it to see if this is accurate. But if it is, I still have something to say about it. Unedited footage shows I got the interesting unedited footage, right? Unedited footage shows the white man slapping a black man during the confrontation. The slap is considered the trigger that escalated the conflict into a violent altercation. As the situation unfolded, the man who initiated the slap was punched and kicked by multiple individuals. A white woman, reportedly attempting to check on him, was also struck and rendered unconscious. At least 2 others sustained injuries, including signs of head trauma. Bystanders recorded the incident on their phones, and there were no immediate efforts to intervene or alert emergency services. So I find that interesting. This whole incident I find very, very interesting. But I couldn't find any other news sources speaking on this incident. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to see if I can find something. Hold on one second. Well, let me see if I can show you guys some of this. Come on. And look at him. And the person that's filming this, oh, you just an ignorant Lord help me. I've been praying, y'all. Look at this, man. Now, like I said, it could have been that the white guy was intoxicated and said something racially provocative, and but the way a lot of black people are, particularly in those settings, they will act like a bunch of fools. Unnecessary. Even if he did say something racially provocative, walk away. You ain't got to go through all that. And then they hit that woman. Watch. Hopefully you guys can see this. Now the man's still laying down. Man, would you shut the heck up? And see, so you see the white woman here for a moment. And then this woman, she just walks out of nowhere and hits her. Oh my God. I don't want to watch no more of this. I'm finished. Hopefully you guys can see some of that nonsense, okay? But let me just give you my brief commentary. Like I told y'all, I had to pray. Because I was like, I didn't want to say anything about this because it ticked me off so much. It ticked me off so badly. Man, I didn't want to say something that would contradict my Christian, character. Okay, I didn't want to do that. So here's what I'm going to say. Is it possible that the white man was intoxicated? The article that I just read to you guys stated that he was intoxicated. According to them, in the full video stated that hours before, this white man said something racially provocative to these people, and they got upset, and that's how the fight started. Is that possible? Yes, that is possible. So I'm not going to leave that behind because, so there are some white people that will say something just to make you mad. They'll say something, if they're intoxicated, I've heard that done. I've heard some white people say stuff like that. While they're intoxicated, I have heard white people, say things that was not good. Whether or not it was to provoke anyone black, I don't know. But they've said things that was not good while intoxicated. But here's my whole deal. Here's my thing. If, in fact, this article that I just read to you guys was accurate in saying that the white man was the one that started all this by slapping the black guy, right? These black people could have walked away. If someone who is intoxicated says something to you and makes a racial slur, you mean to tell me you so weak-minded that you got to assault them? You got to start a fight? You got to get your homies together and do so? That to me shows you see, this is what I'm talking about. This, regardless of what the situation was, this was not justified. Regardless of whether or not the intoxicated white male made a racial slur to these black people, this was unjustified, in my view. That is stupid, dumb, ignorant, and it shows a lack of self-control among black people living in these kind of areas. They have no self-control, they have no self-respect, and that's why I don't like to be around them. You heard it, I said it. I'm sorry. They make me sick. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. Dude, if somebody says something to you, have enough integrity to walk away. You don't have to fight and assault people. Who are you trying to prove? Who are you trying to prove that to? I ain't gonna let no white person say this to me. Yeah. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do it. That is ignorant. It don't make sense, and it's no excuse for it. And I don't care what any black person say. And if you want to take it up to me, we can have a talk about it. We can talk about it right now. Sensibly. Because there is no excuse. Black people were slapped, lynched, spit on, and all kinds of stuff during the civil rights movement. And hardly any of them retaliated because their thought pattern was this. You ready? All these black people that want to just show how black they are. You ready? Not talking about anybody who's watching the video. You ready? Their thought pattern was, okay, you're doing this, but we're gonna put this on camera. We're gonna let the camera show just how much of a lack of character these racist white people have by kicking us and taking water hose and blowing it on us. Water hose that's so strong it can tear the bark off a tree. But we're going to show them just how messed up they are by not retaliating. And we're going to show them how much character we have by not retaliating. That's character. You can't do that with black people today. In a certain segment of black people, you can't. Ghetto black people, you can't do that to. If a white person slips and says something that offends them, assuming that this white man says something that offended them, no, don't say that. Oh, no. I tried, y'all. I really did. I tried. This is why I stay away from them. And I don't hate them. I don't. But I hate the culture they embrace, and I hate the music they listen to, and I hate their mindset. They need to change because inevitably it's going to lead to a civil war. And guess who's going to lose? All the Negroids. You're going to lose. You're going to lose because the whites, they got numbers, bro, and the weaponry. In case these ghetto knuckleheads don't understand, it's the white establishment that has the power and upper hand on your knucklehead. And if there is a civil war, which eventually, in my opinion, I believe is going to be, because the Bible talks about it. Matthew 24th chapter, Jesus said, nation shall rise against nation in the last days. That word nation in the original Greek comes from the Greek word ethnos. Ethnos means ethnic groups, racial groups. So basically what he was saying was that races will rise against races and ethnic groups will rise against ethnic groups in the last days. That's the wars he's talking about. He's talking about racial wars. So it's going to happen. But guess who's going to win? It ain't going to be no black folks. You want a war? You're going to get one acting crazy like this, but you're going to be the loser. You're going to be the one to lose out because you don't have the power. Unless you go to the communists and they arm you, which is what they want to begin with, which is what the insiders want to begin with. This is why I keep trying to pump in these people's thick, fat skulls, is that you're being prepped up, you're being manipulated, you dummy. They're playing games with your mind, man. Unbelievable. I tried, y'all. I tried to be professional. I really tried. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I get emotional about stuff like this because I think this is a major this type of culture in this type of subculture in the black community is a destructive subculture, and they better wake up soon or it's going to be over for them. Period. Bottom line. They have no self-control, no self-respect. No, there's nothing good about it in terms of what they embrace. I want to make that clear. They're humans made in the image of God, but in terms of what they embrace, the nasty, stanky, demonic, satanic worshiping music and nasty, violent music that they listen to ain't worth a pile of doo-doo with corn chips in it. Their language, the things that that culture, their lack of self-control when it comes to engaging in the act of sex, their dependency on the government, utter dependency on the government. They're lazy. They don't want to come to work. I have that issue all the time where I work at. All the time. All the time. All the time. It never fails. It's these group of people. All the time. Never fails. Never fails. And people look at me like, are you putting the black man down? Man, shut up. Stop talking to me talking crazy. This is why I don't like to have these conversations with people. Because they don't want to think. They don't want to take responsibility, bro. Take freaking responsibility for what you do. You don't have to respond like that. And they hit that woman the way they hit that woman. She comes out and know what did the woman say or do that made her come out of the blue and hit her from the back and then knock her out straight out. That woman she probably got a brain. Who knows? She might have had a brain concussion after that. I'm tired of this mess, man. I really am. I'm really sick and tired of it. I really am sick and tired of it. It's embarrassing and it makes me sick. I don't like to walk the streets sometimes when I'm going to the store or doing my thing. I don't like to walk the streets sometimes because of white people. They see me coming in one way, they clenching up and stuff. I'm not going to hurt you, baby. I'm not your enemy. But the stupid stuff you see from these knuckleheads make you think that. It's freaking ridiculous, man. And I'm sick of it. Black people in the ghetto, in the hood, you need to wake the heck up, bro. You need to wake up. You're not a king and you're not a queen because you're not living the life of the king and you're not living the life of a queen. Quit with this, you a king. Quit with this, you a queen. You're not. That's talk. Be about it. Educate yourself. Get a freaking job. Come to work when you're supposed to come to work. Wear the uniforms you're supposed to wear. Stop wearing freaking red tennis shoes on a security job when they told your end that you're supposed to wear black tennis shoes. Or black shoes. You come to work with red tennis shoes on. You about the goofiest person on this side of God's green earth. No excuse for that foolery. None whatsoever. Now I want to hear this, well, maybe that's all the shoes they got. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. But you can buy a smartphone, an iPad. You can buy that. That costs you over $200, $300 something. You can get that, but you can't get a decent pair of black shoes, which may not cost you more than about $50 if you get them at Walmart. Man, I don't hear that bull crap. Excuses, excuses, excuses. When are black people in the ghetto / hood going to wake up and smell the coffee and stop making excuses for their own actions? Because and I'm summing this up, even if somebody of another ethnic group say something to you that's racially provocative, you don't have to respond in violence. You can walk away. You can be the bigger man. You can be the bigger woman and walk away like our ancestors used to do, and they got somewhere in life because they had integrity. These people have no integrity. I'm not excusing them no matter what. Now, that video said that the white man slapped the black guy. I'm going to have to look into that. Because even if he did slap the black guy and he initiated the slap, just still don't have to be the way it was. It just didn't. Some of these black people from the ghetto / hood are looking for an excuse to go off on white people so they can have an excuse to put into practice the crap that they listen to from many of these rap songs that they listen to and all the screwed up culture that they live in. I had enough of these people, man. There is no excuse for them. None whatsoever for their actions. That's what I had to say about it. I'm sorry I went off, people. I tried to be a professional about it, but this is a sore spot for me. It's a sore spot for me because the black culture and the black race in America is far from where they used to be, and it hurts my heart. That's why I talk about it with the passion that I talk about it, because it hurts my heart. When are we going to wake up? When is enough enough? That's what I had to say about that. What do you guys think about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below if you show like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all and see you again.